All right, now you have learned so much about Zapier, but don't worry, there's still a lot to learn. So now we're going to talk about Formatter by Zapier. All right, Formatter is a really cool tool, and we're going to dive in and we're going to kind of look at it a little bit. All right, and to do that, I'm going to go back here and we're going to go to back to this ClickFunnels thing. We're going to go back to this little group convert thing. If I can find where that group convert thing was. Don't remember where I put that, so somewhere in here, blah, 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 group convert. Oh, see, group convert, where did you go, group convert? Let's find it. Sorry about that, we'll just find it. Remember where I put group convert at. Oh, here we go, it's turned off for some reason. Not sure what it's turned off. That's why I couldn't find it. So now we're gonna add a step here. All right. So Formatter, what is Formatter, all right? So Formatter is an awesome tool by Zapier. It's kind of like a really powerful tool, kind of like a Swiss Army knife for all of your data, and it can do a lot of different things, all right? So we're not gonna be able to go over every single thing that you could do with Formatter, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of cover like the gist of what Formatter does, and then as always, learning is easiest by practical experience. You can just go practice with it and understand when you should probably decide you want to use Formatter. So a minute ago, Hilton asked, can we turn the current date and time into a day name like the 5th is a Wednesday? Could we do that? Yes, sure. How would we do that? With Formatter, all right? So Zapier has a lot of its own built-in applications, all right? So Zapier has a lot of its own built-in applications. We're gonna get to those in the future. In next trainings, we're gonna go through delay and schedulers, what webhooks are, the code, executing lines of code, because that's really awesome. Their storage object, how you can actually store data. We use that in chatbots a lot to actually store local objects. Lots of cool built-in Zapier applications. And one of the best ones, one of the most powerful ones is really Formatter, because what it allows you to do with your actual data. So we're gonna choose Formatter as our action, all right? So we're gonna choose Formatter as our action. You can see that we have different things that we can do. We can work with numbers, we can work with utilities, we can work with date and time, and we can work with text. All of these are really cool things, so we're just gonna kind of dive in and go through each one of them. How about we start with numbers? All right, so here you can see whenever I use Formatter and I'm gonna pick numbers, all right, then I always have this transform, how I wanna transform. Do I want to format currency? So I want to turn number, do I wanna turn numbers from a number to a currency, all right? If so, then I can just take the transform that I wanna do, and then I can go in and give my input, what is the data that I'm actually going to format. So you're gonna see almost every single thing that we can do from Formatter is going to actually follow this format. You're gonna have a transform. What type of formatting do you actually want to do? You're going to have some input. What is the data that you actually want me to input? And then you're going to have the options for that particular type of transform or for that particular type of formatting, all right? So here I could just go in and actually get some data here, all right? Like I could take this page ID if I wanted to. I'm just gonna take that just because I can see it's a number. And I can pick my different currencies. I have all sorts of different currencies. So I can go in, and since Hilton is from Australia, we are going to format this, this data as the Australian dollar, all right? Now, you can always see what this is talking about. This is a specific type of currency. So I don't need to read these to you because you guys are smart, genius people, and I know you know how to read. So you got this currency locale here. How do you actually want things formatted? So I'm gonna say, you know, English, United States, currency format here. How do you want the actual format to look? You can even use a custom value if you want, all right? And that's a little bit more advanced, so we're not gonna worry about that, but you can see how you can use a custom value, all right? We're not gonna worry about that. We're just going to actually pick what we want. So how do you want things to actually be formatted? So here's how you can actually be how things could actually be formatted, here are different options that you have, all right? So here you have different options. What are they going to look like? If you don't know what they're going to look like, just continue, run the test, and you'll see, all right? So if you just send this test to Formatter, you can see that Formatter is going to take this number, and it's going to give you back this number right here, all right? And then you'll be able to actually use that number in whatever you want, all right? So if you want to change if you want to change the data, then you can just go in and change how it's going to actually get formatted. So if you want it to be formatted like this, you can change how you're going to get formatted. And again, if you don't know how it's going to look, you can just always test the step, and then it will preview you and show you the actual data of exactly how it's going to look, all right? So you can go in and actually change that however you want. You got format currency. You can format a number, all right? So if you want to format a number, you can see you got the same thing. You've got an input, and you've got your actual format options here, all right? So here you got your format options, and you can go in and say, hey, how you want to format, by a comma or a period. So let's use a comma, and then what's your to format, comma for grouping and period for decimal, comma for grouping and period for decimal. All right, space for grouping and comma for decimal, space for grouping and period for decimal. So we're going to say comma for grouping and period for decimal. We're going to remove those extra fields because they're not actually needed. We'll continue, and we'll see what Zapier does to this number. And as you can assume, all Zapier did is essentially add commas to the number. So now that number is formatted. All right, so let's go back to our template. You can go in and actually format a phone number. If you want to format a phone number, you can change how you actually want that phone number formatted. If you want to change that phone number and how it's actually going to be formatted. So I usually use this like for Tier 5 applications for text in bulk. If I want to make sure that a number is formatted whenever I insert it into text in bulk, I just use no symbols national right now because we're only working inside the US. Later on, whenever we actually update in around February and we service the entire planet Earth, then I will change that to format with no symbols and make sure that it is international and includes the actual country code. All right, so you can see your different options here that you have, and it really is that easy to use Formatter. You just pick what type of formatting do you want to do, what type of transform do you want, you pick your values, and then you just change it to whatever format you actually want to use, all right? So you can also perform math operations. So this one allows you to essentially do basic math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or dividing, or you can make a number negative if you want, and then you're just going to actually, you know, pick your input. If you want to do something like addition, then it's going to allow you to pick multiple inputs, so you can add all those things together. So this just allows you to do really basic mathematics, all right? Really, really basic mathematics. You can see you only have those actions: add, subtract, multiply, divide, or make negative. No complex mathematics happening here. However, since we are working with numbers and you want to perform more complex mathematics, you can use spreadsheet style formula, all right? Now, if you want to use spreadsheet style formula, then what you're going to be able to do is you're just going to be able to put in the formula. If you don't know what the formulas you can actually use, you can come in and actually look in the help section, and you can see all your formula examples, all right? And you can see formula functions. These are going to be really similar to formulas that you actually use in an Excel spreadsheet. So if you're used to doing mathematics in an Excel spreadsheet, pretty much every function and feature that is available in an Excel spreadsheet is going to be available for you here. If you want to get the absolute value, if you want to get the inverse cosine of a number, all that you can do. If you want to and things, if you want to create complex mathematical formulas, you can do that because these are all the formulas that you have. If you want to raise a number to a particular power, you can do that, all right? You can see all the different things you can do. You can even generate a random number. If you want to generate a random number for a coupon code for your chatbot, you can do that as well. So you can see lots of different actual arithmetic that you can use, and you can just kind of go through here. There's additional training content that you can actually watch here, and you can understand all the different spreadsheet style formulas that you can do, all right? And that pretty much takes you everything through Numbers by Formatter. You can also have utilities, all right? And you can go in and actually look at those utilities, and we'll probably dive a little bit deeper into these in a later training item. But you can essentially append line items to a list. You can append line items to text. You can look up something. You can pick from a list. These are actually data objects. So whenever we get to data objects and we talk about Zapier storage, we'll go over the Zapier data objects, which include lists, and to show you how you can actually use these simple data objects to store data and have data stored, and then you could actually go in and look those data up, all right? So you would be able to actually look these data up. It's pretty easy, pretty cool, all right? You can add text to a line item. So these are just utilities with Formatter, all right? You can also, we're gonna do this date and time later, and you can also manipulate text, all right? So you can also work with text, and you can format text in lots of different ways. You're just gonna pick your transform. You can capitalize stuff. If you want to capitalize things, you can go in and actually capitalize all your text if you want. You're just gonna go in and actually pick your text, and we can go in and actually pick if we had any text. I don't see any text, but if we had some text, we could go in and actually pick some text so you can see what it's going to do. In this instance, it's not actually going to do anything, I don't think, because it's not going to capitalize everything, I don't think. It's just going to give you, whenever it capitalizes, it's just going to capitalize the first letter of everything. If you want all letters capitalized, that's not capitalized, that's uppercase. So you would have to actually use uppercase, all right? So you can convert Markdown to HTML. You can convert a number to an ASCII character. So if you want to include certain crazy characters in your email or something, you can convert things to actual ASCII if you want. You can actually extract email addresses from an entire block of data. So you can get an entire block of data. You can extract email addresses. You can extract numbers. You can extract a certain pattern. You can extract phone numbers. You can extract URLs. You can find strings. You can find the length of a string. You can lowercase things. You can pluralize things. You can remove the HTML tags from HTML data. If you brought in HTML data from an RSS feed or something like that, you can remove all the HTML tags. You can replace things if you want. You can search a text and replace all occurrences of one thing to another thing. You can split test. You can use a superhero name. I'm not sure what that is. So this says you can convert a name into the name of a superhero. So let's see what that is. I don't even know what that is, but let's try it out. So we're going to transform group convert into a superhero. Let's see. Machine 0. I don't know how that worked. Really? I have no idea how it did that. All right, let's change this information to Ryan. Let's see what Ryan's name is. Let's convert Ryan to a superhero and see what happens. Maybe it's just a random thing. Let's see. Let's retest the step. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be random. No, definitely wasn't random there. So anyways, Ryan's superhero name is Alpha Machine. Let me find my superhero name real quick. I'm really curious what my superhero name is. Let me find mine. John Vaughn. What could be my superhero name? Let's retest it. Mine's Moon Bullet. So from now on, make sure you refer to me as Moon Bullet because that is my superhero name. All right. So you can do lots of other conversions here. You can see superhero name, title case, trim white space, truncate, decode URLs, encode URLs, uppercase things, or find word count. All right. So lots of different ways that you can actually manipulate text. All right. So you have a lot of different ways that you can manipulate text, and you can go in and actually play around with those. Hopefully you're beginning to actually understand all the different things that you can do with Formatter. why it's so powerful. So 9 times out of 10, if you need to actually manipulate data and you want to change some data, your first option most likely is going to be Formatter. If it can't be done with Formatter, then you can fall back to essentially your Zapier code, and you can write a little code snippet to do whatever type of formatting that you want. But like I said, most of the time, you can just bet that Zapier Formatter is going to be able to do whatever you actually want to do, all right? So now let's look at date and time, because that's the one thing that we haven't actually done in Formatter. So we can do a transform, and you can essentially add or subtract time, or you can format time, all right? So add or subtract time is pretty easy. All that does is means you're going to give some input of a time, all right? So we can go in and actually give an input of some time by going in and actually getting this time right now. Zap them at a human now. We could just get today's time right now. Let me have the time that it is right now. That's what I'm doing, saying, hey, give me this time right now, all right? And then you have an expression, so you can actually just add or subtract time, all right? So you can add a minute or add a month minus 2 days, or you can subtract 1 day and add 8 hours. You can do kind of whatever you want here, and you can change it to a specific format. So here is the specific format that you actually want, all right? So now you can actually go in and change it to a very specific format, all right? And you can see examples of these formats right here, all right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch this to format. We're gonna format a time, and you can see, hey, here you can actually pick again how you wanna format things, all right? And this is what you would use, Hilton, is you would use this because it includes the actual day, all right? And I almost believe that if you were to actually come in here, you could find and you could write your own custom rule. You can write your own custom rule, I think, where you can add one more D here, all right? So I think you can go in and actually just add one more D. Don't hold me to it, but I think that you can go in and add day of month, day of week. You can go in and add this DDD right here, all right? And I think that you can just go in here and to format, you could use a custom value, and you could use DDD, and you could just do from format, and I think that that's optional, and I think that you could just go in and extract the date from that. There you go. That's exactly what you wanted to do, Hilton. That is exactly what you wanted to do. There you have it, just like that. You do it just like that, all right? So yes, you can do exactly what you wanted to do with Formatter. Isn't Formatter awesome? Isn't learning new stuff awesome? That's exactly what you wanted to do. Now you can do it. You can get this date from wherever you want it. You can have a previous date that you got. You could literally just go in, like, and I think we even did this on, I think we did this in a chatbot, Hilton. I think we did this in a chatbot, in the chatbot training, where we essentially had, you know, give me your birth date, and I'll tell you when you were born and when your next birthday is going to be. And essentially, they would go in and actually give their birth date, and we would fire off the Zap, and we would use Formatter to find out that birthday, what day was it actually on, and we would say you were born on a Thursday, and then we would take that same birthday and we would use Zapier to add 1 year to that birthday, or add the current year, you know, add time to that birthday to make it actually this year's birthday. We would just actually change out the date with the little regex, where they would give us the year, and we would switch out that year with this current year. And we would use, I think we used Formatter like 3 times there. I think we used Formatter to actually, you know, format the date, format the original birthday and get the date, and then to actually format the date and get the month and year, and then to get the current date and format that to get just the year, and then splice the month and date of their birthday with the current year, and then give that back to Formatter to actually get the date, so we could say, or to get the day, so we could say, hey, you were born on a Tuesday, and your next birthday is going to be on a Sunday. I'm pretty sure that we did that in one of the live chatbot trainings, all right? So you can see there's all the options that you have with Formatter by Zapier. It's really awesome. You've got a lot of different options to work with numbers or utilities or date and time and text. like I said, we'll most likely come back and revisit those utilities whenever we go over the Zapier storage and the Zapier data objects. All right? So now you know everything that you really need to know about Formatter, and you can always go in and just search more information from the Zapier help section and find even more detailed information. But I think you have enough information for everything you could possibly want right now.